All right, folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching The Cardboard Life. Today we're trying something new. We got the Monopoly mat out because, well, we're throwing the dice. We have another new card game here. This time around, we're doing a nice little box opening of the infamous Gundam card game. This is from my patron Mark, all the way in old San Ramon, California. And we are just doing one little box. Obviously, every store in the country, allocations and getting these things are incredibly difficult. I think I have 2 sealed cases of this. I do not have much. I requested a ton. Never got a lot, so I was never able to even do a major patron sale or do anything with this product. But the excitement and hype around this has been quite extravagant. So today, we're going to crack a box of the old New Type Rising, the first set of the Gundam card game. Good old Bandai right there. This is the English version. Oh, it does have a little pull spot. And I want to kind of just see the cards. People said the card quality. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. Okay. And people said the cards are beautiful. And they're nice. Interesting. Looks like one holo in every pack there. I just want to take a look here. So, we're going to kind of go into some conversation in a few seconds here. I just want to look at the first few packs. So it looks like we got our stats here. Card name. We got mechanics. Got the types. We got some casting costs and levels. Looks like, oh, top right, we got our rarity there, common. Looks like the set card number. So we start off with common. Okay. Art is very well done. The card stock looks very nice on here. Very nice. Okay. I'm just kind of looking at the order and the pack round. So now we're into uncommons. 2 uncommons. 3 uncommons. 4 uncommons. And then you go to the first rare of the pack, the old Ariel here. And then you have your flashy card. And then a resource, kind of a token resource accessory card in the back. So it looks like this is our one major hit. That is not, that's a LR. I don't know what super limited, legendary rare that is. So we have an LR for our first Justice Gundam there. Is the actual name of the card. So are they all going to be the same there? Is the same order? So we have all commons. Just kind of checking out the packs real quick. Uncommons, Darblade, uncommon. Ooh, that one's... Cards do look pretty cool. I'm not going to downplay that. Man, they really hits me in the young teenage Rudy feels, man. And then we have our... Okay, so wait a minute. So every pack you are not guaranteed. So that might be a pretty big hit there. This is a holo, but it's very, very subtle on that holo rare. Okay, so even this one before, technically, that is some hollowing on there. All the rares, technically, it's very, very subtle. I don't even know if you guys can see the actual holo on the regular rare there. So, anyway, so as I'm kind of doing this, prices on this are absolutely wild, everybody. The supply is extremely low. I just want to tell everybody, the cards look exactly what I expected them to look like. They look like Gundam. They look like exactly I expected. They kind of have almost like from the shows and they kind of have almost like a cartoony, animated kind of vibe on the art. Hopefully they're not all just like screenshots from a show. And it does look like you can't get more than one rare in a pack. I just want to say, I know this is a really, really hot new card game. As with there's tons of new products we've been talking about and showing and doing box openings on. But I want people to understand, we do not know how they're going to reprint, how they're going to set these things up, and how the market's going to calibrate, okay? First rare, Shamblo, Dual Gundam. And of course, okay. So yeah, that LR at the beginning was definitely our first major hit there, Mark. You guys can price check below on these things. The prices can obviously be very, very different by the time you watch the video versus by the time I produce and film this thing because, well, anytime you have a new card game with limited supply, you're going to have very, very volatile pricing. All right, so we have looks like our second major hit here. I'm going to call it some legendary rare type thing. The Dual Gun, the Assaultra. Now that looks, wow. They always do a good job, Bandai, man. Bushy Road, Bandai, when they have these hits, the texture, the foil, the card quality and card stock, and the quality of the printing on these things is absolutely off the chart good. This reminds me very similar of a lot of Bushy Road type things with Card Fight Vanguard, with Card Fight, with Buddy Fight, Future Card, and of course, good old Weiss Weeb Schwartz. in general, the printers that they use for some of these things, it's got to be the same thing because they all feel that it's a thicker cardstock. And if you look, like even the corners, it has a very distinctive, very consistent printing on these things. So whatever the printer is on this thing, it's definitely not a Cartamundi with like Pokemon or Magic. They print very, very different compared to these type of cards. I mean, every time I do these other openings, they don't even feel like Magic or Pokemon cards. And of course, Strike Rogue. And so I'm going to gather here. Playable cards and the rares are probably going to be your low dollar stuff. Common and uncommons probably aren't going to have much financial value. Tokens and resources type accessory cards here are going to be just for kind of playable, kind of little assist cards there. And financially speaking, for all of you collectors and evil investors out there, we have, ready? Rare number 1, the Gundam. I mean, the cards look cool. The foiling is so subtle on those, man. And of course, unless you get something crazy, like this is, okay, that's a resource. Wait a minute, okay, so you can actually get a parallel, okay. What's the card number? So the card number is the same, oh, but it's got the plus. Whoa, that is a big difference. Okay, so there's chase flashy versions of even the resource. Wow, that is really, look at that. Okay, that's kind of cool. Interesting. So I have a feeling this is the category over here is where all the money and what's causing the secondary market to be very wonky and very, very crazy right now. Because if you look at all the regular playable cards with everything, they don't swing the needle on sealed product and sealed pricing. But when you get stuff like these, which I'm very surprised that we have 3. We're not even halfway through the box opening. We already have 3 of those kind of. I thought it would be like 1 per box. So that's quite interesting on there because here we go. So again, there is another LR right there. So that is our 3rd LR of the box. And man, I love how they do like this little outline. They have like a little outline of the actual gun. Do you see that? It's like a little textured outline. Huh. So the pull rate is a lot higher than I expected it to be. I thought we were only going to get like 1 flashy little card in the entire box, not 4 already this early in the video. And wow, really? Holy smokes, Unicorn Gundam here. Holy smoke, that's number 5 already? That seems like a lot of pulls. Is this just, I don't know if that's considered normal or if this is just a really lucky box I grabbed out of the case. I'd have to price check these. You guys price check below. Let me know how my patron Mark's doing in this video. Is he getting bamboozled? Am I just kind of not understanding the secondary market demand of people collecting the flashy cards? Because I thought all these flashy cards were really expensive. Anyways, I just want to go into the more important conversation while you guys look at these new Gundam cards. There it is again. Holy smokes. Okay, so the pull rates must be, okay. The pull rates are nothing like Weiss. I thought this was going to be something like we get 1 major hit per box or 1 major hit like per case. I didn't think there would be this many hits in a single box. That also may explain why the boxes are more expensive. Everybody's chasing certain singles or playable cards. Wow, okay. Holy moly's. Gundam Death Scythe. That is our number 7 of the LR. So that's officially halfway through box 1 of 1. And we have 7 kind of hits. Because the secondary market on these boxes are bouncing around. Like as low as 150, as high as 250. They have been swinging all over the place. And I don't know if they're reprinting more. Here we go again, another LR. Wow, okay, so the pull rates are not difficult. Unless there's another actual rare. We got the Buster Gundam. Unless there's another rarity above LR. Now I did notice we've only had 1 of the resource, actual common plus there. But the LRs are nowhere near as rare as I thought they were going to be before I filmed this video. First rare, we got the Parasite. Whoa. Okay, so wait a minute. Hold on. What's that? What is this? LR plus. I don't remember seeing that on the others. I don't remember seeing the other. Hold on. The other cards say that? No, they did not. Gundam GDOL044 LR plus. Is this the only one with a plus? I think this is the only LR plus. This thing is insane looking. Okay. Okay, so there's one LR Plus. That's the first time I've seen an LR Plus rarity card pulled in the video. I'm kind of curious what you guys think about the actual game itself. Is the actual gameplay decent? Are you guys actually playing this, or is everybody just collecting all the cool cards? I'd be very curious to see how much the actual enjoyment or the balance and the actual mechanics and the actual, you know, is the game actually properly designed on these new things? Sometimes they are not, sometimes they are. So it's very unpredictable per se. I don't know why it seems like they printed this first release very, very low, unless they purposely played it cautious, which seems kind of weird, because going into this thing all year long, everybody was asking about it. I requested a whole pallet of 600. Obviously, guess what I did not get? A pallet of 600, and which was very disappointing. I really wanted to, okay, we got another LR regular. So, are we having duplication? That's a Freedom Gun. No, I thought we did. Okay, no, we're not getting duplication. I thought we were, I was like, wait a minute, we're not actually getting duplication in the same box on our chase hits, are we? It does not look like it. See, I love exploring, experiencing new things like this. I just get to kind of go through it. Like, you know, I don't like to actually research too much in advance. I love to just experience it. Like, kind of old school, man, where you just kind of go in and look at the cards and learn. And I think it's such a fun new experience to do in this world. That's the way we used to do things a long time ago. Okay, this is very different. Wait a minute. A rare plus. So you can get parallels with the regular rares? That is a rare plus parallel. I have not seen that. Okay. So there's resource plus parallels with the common. There's regular rare parallels? Holy moly. So, man, if you're going to pimp out and deck out a deck, you can... So is the whole set have a parallel? I thought it was just the LRs. Huh. Well, that was an interesting little surprise right there. Well, anyways, about to wrap up the pack opening. I want to kind of talk for a few minutes here. Overall, Mark, I don't know if this is the greatest box opening of all time, or are you getting... I'm just bamboozling you. I don't... Again, first time I've ever opened or handled these cards. I'm very, very curious to see what the comment section, the market is below, and kind of what everybody thinks of the actual set, of the print runs, the prices. I'm really curious what people are going to think of this. First thing that stands out to me is we got 11 flashy LRs or variants of a Rare Plus or even a Resource Plus. 11 to me seems like quite a bit for a single box. It almost feels like Pokemon pull rates. We're in a box of Pokemon. Usually it's like once every couple packs, you get some sort of hit of some sort. Now, again, it may not be an expensive Pokemon or a Chase or an Illustrator, but I mean, you would get something that is a non-normal base set kind of thing. That's kind of the vibe I got. I just want to give everybody the pros and cons here. The pros are, Gundam's a big deal. The brand and the IP is very powerful. It is very known around the world in many countries. It's always had a loyal following. A lot of people who discovered Gundam younger, the figures, built, getting the actual toys and the things, not just digitally, are connected to these kind of industries and are probably very attracted to a card version of Gundam. Now, the thing that concerns me, as I tell you all these new card games, we do not know how they're going to manage the game, the expansions, the reprints. I know Gundam has their first expansion coming pretty soon. Now, are they going to print a lot more? Usually about set 2 to set 3 is when the true colors come out. And then by set 4 and set 5, everybody knows, well, if they're just going to destroy the whole damn thing and crash secondary market and print to oblivion, everyone's going to know. Right now, it's too early to know. This could be a very well managed thing. Now, for example, One Piece right now is absolutely just killing it. It has been managed, print run sets. It has been designed, and One Piece is approaching OP 13, set 13, not even including premium and other sets, additional ancillary sets, not including all the starter decks and other things. They're doing a really good job. Now, I don't know if they're going to apply a similar business model to Gundam. I don't have the answer to that. I hope so, because a lot of people really like this. And I just want people to know, until we see how management and the company is going to navigate their reprints and print runs, you need to be very careful. Again, this could be a very successful IP and a very successful card game, and it could go the next 5, 10, 20 years. If it does, obviously set 1, 2, 3 and all this stuff, it could age very well and become very scarce and very desirable. Now, if they act like some of these other companies and they start ramping print runs to the moon and they reprint all, they go to set 2, then set 3 and set 4, and they start going back and reprinting set 1, 2, and 3 over and over and just, cashing in with distribution, crushing all the rare cards, adding to supply. And if they overdo it, because, we got to make sure Game Piece Army doesn't get upset, there is a high risk of a full-blown collapse that we've seen with tons of card games over the last 10, 20, 30 years. So it always comes down to the company. So right now, I am optimistic on the Gundam thing. I hope I can get to a point where I can order a bunch of it. I would like to order and carry it. Unlike Disney Lorcana or Star Wars Unlimited, it is something that I have no interest to really move into, even like when I have an opportunity to buy a good chunk of old Lorcana product from previous sets. It's just something it's outside my risk tolerance. It is outside the boundary of what I feel is comforting, and it doesn't fit my parameters. Now Gundam, I am a little bit more bullish on. Unfortunately, I don't have a bunch to sell you guys or anything like that. If you have access to the product, right now there's a lot of speculation in it because nobody knows what's going to happen. But if you have access to it and you have the resources and the risk tolerance, it's probably not a bad idea to have some of the sealed product and some of these cards, because we don't know what's going to happen. And we don't know if it's going to be properly managed. And if it is, there will be huge opportunity. If it isn't, the secondary market on these single cards, the sealed box prices, it's all going to go to shit and collapse. It's up to the company and how they do it. I'm pulling for them. I would like to see Gundam actually be successful longer term. I think it has the IP behind it, and it has the fan base where it can actually really do well. We'll see what happens, everybody. But that's my 2 cents. So conclusion of this video. Mark, I'm sure everybody's going to be commenting below about the prices and the singles, if you got bamboozled on this $200 box, or if this box you only got half your money. I have no idea. It's all going to come down to these 11 cards and what the secondary market thinks they're worth right now. And of course, by the time you watch the video, and next week, next month, next year, who knows where the prices will be, right? It could tank, it could double, it could triple, we don't know. So again, conclusion, a lot of unknowns. The more unknowns, the higher the price swings. That means you could make a lot of money and you can lose a lot more money. The variance is a lot higher. But I am hoping, unlike my negativity towards Lorcana, the Gundam situation, similar to One Piece, I would like to carry it. I hope one day I can get the product to actually offer and carry it, because I do think there's a big enough market for it. So that's my attitude right now. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you all have a beautiful day out there.